Okay. All right, I'm just gonna start. So right. So at the moment, I'm just screen sharing my website, and there's a section saying, "How do we trade?" And it says market profile and auction market theory, fractal trend, market structure, internal and external structure, and price action analysis, order book rest and liquidity, and market by order analysis, book map, in-depth fundamental and correlations analysis, that's credit spreads and interest rate spreads and the dollar index. And I said our style of trading is discretionary slash systematic, utilizing principles from behavioral economics to mechanized entries. Okay? So, what I do at the weekend, and by the way, tap me. If you're in the meeting and you can't see my screen, just tap me and I'll let you into the Google Meet. So far, it's just Alfonso. Anyway, so I'm pulling up my VPS, and I always start with the dollar index, and I have a look at like the last week at what's happened, and yeah, it's a bit of a mess as you can see. So I'll start deleting some kind of irrelevant lines just to clean up the picture a little bit. So like the single print's been filled, so it's not relevant anymore. So first thing to note, if you go back to our dollar index analysis, we had a value area here from 3 weeks ago, and then a value area from 2 weeks ago that built lower, a lower high, a lower low. And then, I'm sorry, this was 4 weeks ago. Then this one was 3 weeks ago. This one was 2 weeks ago. This was an inside week. So when you got an inside week during a trend, or an inside day for that matter, during a trend, that's a continuation indication. Okay? So downtrend, inside week, and continuation downward. Okay? So that forecast in the dollar was correct. Now, why is this important? Well, the dollar is the barometer for every other market, okay? The dollar is the world reserve currency. It's critically important, and it really dictates what happens in all other markets, okay? Now, the bond market is the largest market in the world also. Not Dixie, the Dixie contract. The Dixie future itself is a tiny pool of liquidity, but it's still relevant. The actual index itself is a composite of forex pairs, but it gives you a general gauge and barometer of what's happening with the dollar. So I keep a really close eye on it, and I always start my analysis here. So I'm just gonna get rid of some stuff. Let's So that would now be 2 weeks ago, value area. And 3 week prior value area. If you're in this meeting and you can hear me, but you can't see my screen, then just say something, okay? So, see this section, daily candle disconnection. This was critically important for trading NFP. That was this gap right here. Okay. So if you notice in NFP, we came down, we filled this gap as we mentioned. Now, did it fill it perfectly? No. It went onto the POC below it. Now, the thing to ask here is, can we expect a rejection now from the gap? And maybe a bullish dollar? I think, like, my gut instinct says yeah. But we should plan for both eventualities. The dollar moved in quite an impulsive manner last week. And usually when it does that, it's indicative of some kind of feeling of an inefficiency. Okay? Strong impulsive move fills an inefficiency. Always happens like that. So that's the first thing to note. And I think we could logically assume that the dollar may move higher after this, but we're also going to keep an eye on levels down below. So, how do we start this? Let's get rid of some more levels. First thing to do is go up a time frame. Start on the weekly. And I always note the weekly open and close. And the high and the low. Okay. So this is USDX. It's the DXH4 in TradingView that we use. So I'll just note the open. We'll do this in gray. Last week's close. Is there anything else of interest? We have this weekly inefficiency, so that is definitely of interest. Okay. Weekly hidden gap. So we could be headed there. So just remember, this is a kind of drop in, drop out session. It's going to be going on for hours. It's just planning. So I'll be taking breaks as well. You know, this is all going to be recorded. So if you can't be bothered with it, it's fine. You can always watch the recording. But what I'm going to do now is just get a drink. Actually, I should have got a drink before I started the session, but Yeah, I'll give people time to kind of file in as well because nobody's here. Hi guys, I'll be back in like 2 minutes, okay? Okay. Anybody still here? Alfonso, Xian? Okay, let me know. Are you in the Google Meet meeting? Okay, admit. Okay, Alfonso, you're in. Good. Xian? Have you tried to join the Google Meet meeting? I can't see you. Ah, there you are. Perfect.
Perfect.
Great.
Great.
Good stuff.
Good stuff.
So yeah, basically, I do a lot of my planning on Sunday. And I'm gonna make this a more kind of regular session.
drop-in session.
It'll probably last for quite a few hours, and I'm not going to be talking a whole ton. It's a lot of just planning and thinking, because a lot of markets is logic and planning. For example, the dollar. Okay, we noted 4 weeks ago this value area, and then 3 weeks prior we noticed a lower value area with a lower low, lower high. Then 2 weeks ago an inside week, which is a continuation pattern. So we know the market's going to be bearish, and it was, and it filled this inefficiency, and then went in to fill this gap, which was all it's all predicted. That was during NFP, and that was a strong impulsive move. Usually on the dollar, when you get a strong impulsive move, it is to fill some kind of gap or inefficiency. So the natural question after that is, can we expect a reversal? My instinct says yeah, but we should plan for every eventuality. We should have a look at the levels down here as well, not just the ones above, because we've left behind a ton of single prints. So we'll have to just be careful and look at both sides of the argument. So we start top down. Swing. Always start by noting the swing structure. So if you notice in the dollar, actually, we're in kind of a compressing range here. You could almost draw a trend line like that. It's quite interesting. The dollar is on the weekly time frame. You would call that a consolidation almost. Strictly speaking, what do we have? Higher high, higher low. So weekly is actually in an uptrend, but we'll, somewhere between an uptrend and consolidation. If anyone has questions, just fire away. Yeah, are people still there? Yeah, Alfonso. Good.
I'm like, why the fuck is my room saying that I slept like 7 hours and I clearly got more than like.
Sorry for the kind of fits and starts here. I'm just kind of making sure everything's working. Where's the actual meat? Okay, good. Alfonso, Xian. Good stuff, good stuff. If anybody notices on Discord, like while I'm talking, that somebody's trying to join and can't, just let me know, please. So anyway, weekly kind of in an uptrend consolidation. We've noticed this weekly hidden gap. I've noticed the weekly open, the weekly close, and we should also note the weekly high and low as well. So yeah, this is a long, arduous, tedious process. I'm not going to apologize for that. It's just the way it is. Weekly low. Anything else to note on the weekly? just from a price action perspective, not really. We've got a poor high up here. Not much to note there on the weekly. Daily. Okay. So we're in kind of an uptrend, and daily's now in a downtrend. So we'll note that. Everything starts with market structure, starts and ends with market structure. That's really the king of everything. It's so important. So anything on the daily chart of note? Yeah, I mean, we have these consolidation areas from January. It looks like this one's being tested. You know, the value area from the first 2 weeks of January. So this may provide kind of a support, possibly. And we noticed the daily ended with a pin bar, a doji. You'd call that a gravestone doji, I guess. So I'm just gonna note that. Is that the right name for that? Gravestone doji? I'm not a big candlestick patterns guy, but that looks like rejection, you know? So I'll just note these daily hidden gaps as well. Template, save as. I used to call these FVGs until I found out ICT was a certified fraud artist, so I don't use the term FVG anymore. Okay. I noticed also we had a ton of volume up here, right at this high. And this is obviously a very clever, deep-pocketed seller who managed to catch the high. So anything else in a daily chart to note? Not really. I mean, this looks like a kind of a supply zone. So just kind of note that. There's potential daily supply. What else in a price action perspective? Anything really to note? Anyone can chime in. So yeah, not much to really know on the daily. We've got this kind of disconnection between daily candle bodies, but it looks like it's been resolved. Same here. We noted that a couple of weeks ago, and it's now been resolved. Okay, here's something. Well, maybe I just thought I heard something. So for our, what do we notice? 4 hours in a downtrend. So what's the downtrend? Lower lows, lower highs. But look at this rejection. That should tell you something, you know, as a potential reversal. So the daily hidden gaps, so let's clean them up a little bit. So what's next for the dollar? You know, I think it could, you know, it isn't a downtrend, so we have to assume that it's going to go further down. But what it might do this week before CPI is just consolidate a little bit. So that's what I expect for Monday. But let's look at all the levels now, because we'll be here all day if we don't actually crack on with it. So this is last week's. That's 2 weeks ago. That was the inside week. This is last week's value area, so we should note it. So 103,670. Gonna write that down. I'll forget. 103,670 to 102,540. Can everyone tell me that you can hear me and that everything's okay? Just somebody say like hello or something. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I'm not. I'll disconnect my mic on Google Meet, right? So what I'm gonna do is just mark the value area from last week with a red line. However you want to do it, it's up to you. So it's 103,670. Should just put it in coordinates, can't we? 102,540. Feel free to chime in with questions, by the way. That line's not straight, is it? There we go. Okay, that's last week's value area. Okay, still moving down. So, you know, although a reversal might be expected here, let's not make assumptions, because it could go further down. And CPI is gonna cause a lot of upset. I think. I think what you'll see on Monday is some consolidation, and then CPI will do a kind of seek and destroy type move. You know, spike out both sides. So we should note the levels from the weekly profile on our chart. So we've got TPO POC 103, 105. She'll get me the red. I'm gonna make TPO levels red. Okay, just to avoid confusion. And then weekly high volume point control is here. 103, 325. Does this all make sense so far? Does it make sense why I'm doing all this? Okay, good. Thank you. So we're already starting to draw a picture of what may happen next week. Got a weekly low there. So CPI on Tuesday, if I'm not mistaken. US CPI. So we should note levels lower down that may be tested. So what else do we have? We should note the volume value area high and low as well for the week. So that would be, I hope the distinction between TPO and volume value area high and low is clear. 103,580. Okay, 103,580. So, you know, I've been suffering with like pretty severe neck pain during the week. I was complaining about it during CPI. No, not CPI, NFP. So I bought this like unit. It's called like a TENS unit or something that gives like electric shocks to your back. So I think that's arriving from Amazon in like the next 15 minutes. So I'm quite looking forward to that. I think it like massages your back and stuff as well. I don't know. All right. So that'd be the volume. The next a bit better. I'm hoping when this thing comes, it'll soothe it a bit more. So volume value area high, weekly VPOC, TPO POC. Okay, it's good. We are progressing. And what about levels lower down? So we should probably note this 102, 260. So we're going to be rolling over to the June contract probably Monday, okay? For ES, so you're going to have to update all your symbols. 102, 140. So all this tedious planning out of it comes good trades at the end of it. Eventually. I'm a real planner. I know a lot of people just open the chart and just tick scalp and just take 100 trades a day. I'm just not one of those people. So I teach a style of trading that's unique to me in my own experience, and I know that works, and that I'm happy to pass on to others because I'm so confident in it. And it's real trading in a way. It's not like a mechanical mean reversion type strategy where you'd be totally fucked trading these kinds of markets with. So this allows us to be completely adaptive. By adaptive, I mean like we can respond to any market condition and just say, okay, market's making new all-time highs then, and we'll just go with it. So none of us have really experienced this before, a bull market of this proportion. So it's kind of forging new ground. So what else? Perhaps we should note this level as well. 102 on the nose. Previous week, volume value area low. Okay. See, there's a little gap there. That's quite interesting. Any place where there's gaps like this, you have to kind of note, because usually that's a important level for the market. So I'm just gonna note that. It may be handy later on. Okay, what else? 101, 930. By the way, if anyone has any comments on the way I work, and if you see me doing things that don't make any sense to you and you think I could be doing better, please tell me. I'm humble enough to, be told. Somebody just left me a VM, but I can't listen to it because I'm on a call. So anyway, right. What about else? What else lower down? We've got this weekly hidden gap. I think that's enough for the downside. We've kind of noted everything. What about the upside? We noted the TPO POC already, didn't we? TPO VAR 103,670. Did we note that? And obviously our TPO val is just going to be right there. Okay, so this is where we established fair value on the dollar index this week in this area. Okay. I'm just noticing this little disconnection between candle bodies as well. I don't really have a name for this, I'll just call it. If anyone has a catchier name than candle disconnection, go for it. See, it's not quite a gap because there's a wick through it, it's just the bodies are disconnected. You know what I mean? So what else? So we've got this extreme high volume up here as well. No, 104.650. We've got a confluence here as well. 104.135. What did we say that was? 104.135. Yeah. That's where I kind of noted last week as our kind of resistance level. You know, we kind of tried to break there and then failed. So that's enough on the kind of weekly chart. So let's look at the TPO. So make sure we're on M30. What have we got? Now, just for the next few days of trading, we should obviously note this single print area. Okay, so where's that? 102.965 to 103.010. Is that right? Oh. Okay, so that's going to be very important. That's going to be a good level to watch for Dixie. So why are we doing this when we don't even trade Dixie? What's the fucking point? Well, it helps you to trade other markets. If you know where the dollar is going to reverse, right, and you're like maybe 60% sure on Nasdaq where that's going to turn. If you add that confidence of the Dixie where that's going to turn, then that's going to add to your confidence on your reversal level on the Nasdaq or whatever, or gold or oil or whatever it is. So this is why we do this. Jan, are you still there? I told you this would be a boring session. I did warn you. What's their value area for Friday? Do the same for Thursday. So 103, 205. Does this make sense so far, or am I talking shit? Capiche? Okay, good. I wish I didn't have to do all this shit, but I do. It's my job. This is what I do every single week, and it helps me trade immensely. Yeah, or every couple of days, just depending what happens. Like Monday, I probably won't update it. Then after CPI, I'll probably update it. You know what I mean? Yes. That's it. It might smash all the levels, but it's good to have an idea of where the CPI may take us, because we can always trade it. I don't know. Did you see any of my NFP trading? Oh yeah, it's very, very long. I wouldn't have expected many. No, no. Trust me, you don't want. It's well, I made like $5,000 per account, but it was a bit of a mess. I got in at like the right spot, and then it came back on me, so I took break even, and then I got back in at a suboptimal spot, and then I was like, okay, I'm gonna hold it for the session. Then I took profit at VWAP. Anyway, it was all. Yeah, it's fine, and I didn't like blow it, into drawdowns or anything, so it was all good. It was fine. It was a bit on the discretionary side, sometimes you slip into that. Yeah. I mean, there is always going to be discretion involved. It's just like the final step is mechanical, and if you are applying like a strategy, like all this stuff is discretion at the moment, kind of, because we're making a plan of where the market may go, but then the actual step of entry follows a set of rules that is somewhat mechanical. So single print area here, 103,365, and I think we're nearly done with Dixie. Okay, I'll get. All right. Yeah, let me get back to you on that. Wow, that is a very small single print. I think that's enough for now on Dixie. Just need to check the volumes, I guess. I guess we'll check this large single print and then the points of control here, and then we'll move on to the volumes and then move on to other assets, and then probably take a break, 103,500. It's kind of like just drawing a treasure map. Thursday, Wednesday. Okay. Right, I think that's enough on the TPO side of things. For now. We've got a bit of a map there. I think we may fill this wick, on Monday we might do, kind of move up and down a little bit around in this kind of range between this single print and this low. You can probably expect a bit of a range. Anything stick out in the volumes? Let's switch it to like M3. So going back in time to January, I'm just going to look for any kind of like confluences. So got in general from this area 102, 130. There's lots of VPOCs together all the way up to kind of 102, 220. And even 102, 335. So this will be for watching CPI, See what happens then. So VPOC confluence. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's kind of your support, you know? Which may overshoot, of course. Got this kind of, you know, strange gap. Got to kind of keep an eye on that as well. And obviously the weekly inefficiency down here has to be noted. I mean, we are on a downtrend on Dixie, although there's a lot of reasons to think there'll be a reversal. Let's not pre-assume. So if you look at US 10-year yields, market structure, why do we look at this? Because the bond market is the largest in the world, i.e. bonds make up the biggest set of assets. So yields affect the dollar, and the dollar in turn affects all the other markets, so we do need to keep an eye on this. I don't go into too much depth. I'm not going to draw out all the VPOCs on the yields and stuff. I tend to just look at the price action to say, okay, what are we doing? Okay, we're filling the gap, great. That gap fill fit nicely in with the dollar gap fill. So it's kind of like all lining up neatly for a reversal up. If that makes sense. So my gut feel is, yeah, CPI might drop us down a little bit, continue the trend, but I'm kind of expecting a reversal on the dollar, which in theory means bearish equities. But, you know, I wouldn't bet my house on the Nasdaq and the ES falling anytime soon. But that's what the market's telling me at the moment. If you can see, we're kind of in this... Okay, that's not a strict daily downtrend yet. It's a 4-hour downtrend. Daily, I think you would call that an uptrend with a higher low, higher highs. We've not had a lower low, lower high yet, so the daily's still kind of in an uptrend. And we'd say we're taking internal liquidity, you know? From here and here, filling this gap. Yes, poor low, okay? There is that. And we have external structure up here, which in turn is part of the internal structure of this larger swing. So yeah, it's kind of take your pick, really. Do we go down to the poor low, or do we continue the daily uptrend and up to the structure here? We'll have to keep a close eye on that. It's a tough one. I mean, yeah. Let's stick that on markups. That's Dixie more or less done. Not a lot to say. We're still in a downtrend. We have filled a gap. We have made an impulsive move down to fill a gap. We're testing first 2 weeks of January's value area. My gut feeling is it will reject and we'll change trend, but we'll see. We just have to follow the trend Okay. So that's Dixie. Sorry, Alfonso, you're asking about key levels and trading levels. Do you mind just repeating the question? So somebody's saying it won't let them join. So let's have a look. Yeah, somebody try to join. So I'm just gonna take a quick break. I think my thing for my back has arrived, so I'm gonna go see about that. So we'll be back, and then we'll do ES or NQ or something like that. Okay. How's your dogs doing, by the way? Good stuff. Good stuff. Alright, I'll talk to you soon. How do you leave this thing? Oh yeah. Okay, back. Okay, Dixie's plan. What's next? Is there anything I've missed on Dixie? Got an excess wick. We have an unfinished auction on Thursday's high. And even in, that'd be Thursday, Wednesday. Is that right? Friday, Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Thursday and Tuesday, kind of unfinished auctions. So yeah, unfinished auctions. So just notice that on the weekly high and Thursday's high. Okay, so that makes some targets for after CPI. They're starting to kind of develop a plan here. Okay, what's next? What shall we do? GBP USD. I think that makes sense. So I do my analysis on the spot chart because that's the larger market. So I don't know, it just makes sense to me to analyze the spot chart even though I'm trading the future. You may want to use the 6B chart instead, that's fine, no problem with that. So what have we got? December high. Well, let's start in the weekly, shall we? Weekly. Weekly is consolidation. No clear trend, really. And we'll just note the weekly open, high, low, close, all that stuff. Oh, I heard somebody join. Hey. Someone join? Hello? Oh, hey, is it Alfonso again? Good stuff. That's alright. I moved. Well, I finished Dixie, so I noticed a couple of things on Dixie before I switched over. The unfinished auction on Thursday's high, and also kind of the weekly high, kind of unfinished. So after CPI, these might be targets, you know, to get up to here. So yes. So I've just moved on to the pound. I'm just on the weekly chart. It's kind of a consolidation, I guess. So I'm just noting the close, weekly close. Weekly high. The market loves opens, close, highs, lows. So you really need to pay attention to these. It's pretty interesting, the no wick at all. It opened and moved up all week. That's very unusual. Rare that you see that. What do you not see? Oh yeah. I mean, it does happen, like here, you know. Even there's a little wick, but here there's absolutely nothing. Anyway, does that mean we're bullish? Not necessarily. In fact, it's probably more likely to be bearish. So I noticed this kind of candle disconnection on weekly, barely noticeable. This is disconnection between bodies. I know it seems like a small detail, but sometimes these little details can really be the crux of things. So say weekly's in a kind of consolidation, I guess. Daily. You know, daily's in an uptrend. Generally, when you're trading, you want to have all your ducks in a row and be trading pro trend on all time frames. Is that going to happen for every trade? No. It's just the ideal. It's the platonic ideal, you know? You're familiar with Plato's ideal concept, where you have like the ideal version of something and everything else is an imperfect copy. Yeah, I studied politics, philosophy, and economics, so I'm kind of a geek on all that stuff. Daily hidden gap. We do have a bit of a... Sorry? Yeah, if you can get everything pro trend. Yeah, and then if you can get set up on pro trend, like that trade, the one I recorded before the NFP trade. The video I recorded, it was a Nasdaq long. Yeah, all time frames were pointing up. We had a quick spike on ECB below the Asia low, counter trend, A+ trade, ideal. Because the Nasdaq's heavily bullish in all time frames, you know. So if you're trading counter trend in a bullish market, you know, you should have a good reason for doing that. It's fine if we're in like a H1 downswing or something. Because market, even bullish markets, they'll have downswings on the lower time frames. So it's okay to go with that sometimes, as long as you know what you're doing and you're not trading into something stupid. You just have to apply a bit of thought and care to what you're doing. That's all. What else? So, kind of a weak close there. Yeah. So what is that? Is that December's low? Yeah, I guess it is. So we've had December's high breached. I wonder if December's low is next. Seems quite tantalizing, doesn't it, for a swing trade? Straight down. But the more tantalizing it is, the more people will think that that's tantalizing, and it's more likely to do the opposite of that, if that makes sense. Yeah. Yeah, if you're thinking like that, then 1,000 other traders are thinking the same. It's one of those annoying things. Yeah. Yeah, it's like reverse psychology, and then sometimes it's like reverse psychology. So yeah, it gets a bit nuts. Yeah, overthinking. Yeah, I mean, a good rule of thumb is the good trades, they should jump out at you and like slap you in the face and say, "This is a good trade." If it doesn't do that, then don't take it. Like that one on that I recorded that I just mentioned. That's an example of a low hanging fruit, obvious, easy trade that just slaps you in the face and it's just impossible not to take. Because it was pro trend, we had a counter trend break on news, the order flow lined up, everything was perfect, and it just, ran to target. It was just beautiful. So that's what you want every trade to be like. And it's, when you think about it, you only need one trade like that per month. Once you get to a certain level. It's hard because you have the natural urge to want to progress and make money and build prosperity, but the market's not going to give that to you every day, so it's the patience of waiting for that. And it's a very hard skill to master. But yeah, we'll talk about that. We're gonna have weekly dial-ins about trading psychology. We're gonna try and do it in a structured way. I think it'll be beneficial for everyone, including me. So what we got? Anyway, kind of on the pound. Anything stand out? Got this. What's this? July high. The market could be going up to the July high. I don't want to automatically assume that it's going to go down here. October low. Nothing really to say much on the daily. Got daily uptrend. Cable. Oh yeah. Moves like hell, man. It's great when you catch it. Tuesday's the best day to trade cable because it makes a very predictable counter trend move. The general trend, the general pattern of forex. If you have a downtrend, right, then Monday consolidates. And Tuesday does some big move like this, and then the rest of the week goes down. That's your general kind of pattern for forex. That could, that move could be on a Tuesday, that could be a Wednesday, could be a Monday, but generally, more often than not, it's a Tuesday. Sometimes Monday, sometimes Wednesday. Huh? Yeah. I like to enter for the liquidity grab, you know what I mean? Like, before the news and get the liquidity grab, and then target the internal liquidity, and then get out, and that's your day done. That's a great trade. It's very, very reliable, and it happens like clockwork. We pointed it out last week, actually. Let me just show you. I know. Actually, I know I'm forever pointing out trade ideas that. What was this one? That was Tuesday. Straight up, bought it. So the move up was here in the morning. Right, that was the previous 2 weeks open. It was a confluence. Previous 2 weeks open. Okay, they're both in the same level. So it was an important level for the market, and it turned on a dime there. So that's why we look at like, opens and closes and stuff. So we should note some other kind of weekly opens and closes that are nearby. There may have been probably more dollar related. There's no real reason for the pound to be going up, in my opinion. We're in a technical recession. I think it's more dollar related, to be honest. I can't remember what the interest rate spreads are. Do you mind checking that on GPT and just reminding us? The interest rate spread on US 10s and UK 10s. You can do it in Copilot for free. Do you know how to do that? I'm gonna actually go back to monthly. It'd be January open. Okay, so we're getting higher rates in the US. Is that right? Okay. So, in theory, cable should be moving down. So, there's more to it than that, obviously, than just the interest rate spreads. There's also relative inflation. Relative interest rates, relative inflation, and also relative GDP. Those are the three main fundamental drivers that you need to watch for Forex. Don't worry too much about it. I mean, like, see, fundamentals, there's sometimes called fundamentals in trading because, the market can often move completely the opposite of what the fundamentals suggest. So that's, they get called fundamentals because sometimes it don't make sense. No, don't stop. I mean, it is good to know. I do know a guy who has built a spreadsheet model, to track relative interest rates, relative inflation, and relative GDP, and he uses that in his trading. So we can do that as well. It's more for swing trading. Yeah. Yeah, we could build a model like that in 15 minutes. Get GPT to do most of it, Now, here's a project for you. You can take it on if you want. You won't want to, trust me. But I'll present it to you and work out the UK CPI the next time it happens using the ONS's manual. Okay, so you get 80 pages of differential calculus. So there's a project for you. Will it make you money? It might. I don't know. But it's a project. Is it worthwhile one? No clue. Yeah, it's what is. the thing is, the banks will have analysts doing that job. So it'll be some first year analyst. It'll be like, okay, your job is to work out what UK CPI is going to be, and you know that they'll give them like a few days to work it out. That's what kind of first year investment banking analysts get jobs like that to do, or interns even. Yeah, because you notice usually. Oh, if you work it out and you find the CPI number is coming in way high, then you can do a position trade based on that, and you can be way ahead of the market, and you might be able to make a lot of money. So it's not a total waste of time. And once you've built the model, then you just have to plug in the numbers, get some program to scrape the price numbers off the internet. But I think they've made it. ONS have made it extremely difficult. Like their go ahead and have a look at that manual just for interest, because it's ridiculous. So the ONS it's the government agency that do all the statistics, like inflation stuff. All right. Anyway, back to GU. So what the fuck's happening here? All right. H4 is in an uptrend. No reason to think that will reverse, apart from the fact that it's taken December's high. What I would kind of expect is that a lot of people will want to short this, and we have this internal liquidity. So I'd watch out for that. It could make a run for 130. That's quite a ways away. Just keep an eye on that. I'm gonna just put a little emoji there, okay? Just watch that. Just to remind me. Yeah. What else in the price action? Anything stick out? Nothing really. Yeah, I haven't actually got to the volumes yet. I'm just checking the. I'm just gonna note. Yeah, we'll get to the volumes, or even the TPOs. Gonna just note that weekly. 2 week prior open. So that looks a bit like a classic demand zone. No. So we better mark it just in case. Doesn't mean we'll trade. I've just marked like the highs and lows for the weeks, just in case there's some confluences, you know. This is kind of like, this is what you would call like a significant support and resistance level. It's kind of I'll bet you there's some kind of volume there. I think we can just move on to hourlies and uptrends as well. Okay, there's not much to say in the price action really. Got 3 o'clock already here. Alright. So what's next? Cable weekly. Oh god, we've got like natural gas to do as well. I don't think I'm gonna get that done today. I added natural gas to like the list of traded instruments, but there's no way I'm gonna get to that. Yeah, it's kind of like just click buy, isn't it? I don't know either. It's just... Yeah. Yeah. I'll have to talk to you about crypto sometime because I'm a bit of a crypto noob, but I don't really know much about it. Because I know a lot about regular markets and just, you know, all that kind of stuff, but when it comes to crypto, I don't really have a clue. I don't own any crypto. I've only traded it in very, very small amounts. So yeah, I don't really know. My brother loves it. Yeah, my brother has a whole portfolio of shit coins and crypto coins, stuff that I've never heard of. So yeah, I'd like to discuss it. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I don't really like getting involved in that. What happened to Logan Paul's shitcoin? Did you hear about that? I think it was called Crypto Zoo or something. CoffeeZilla did a big kind of expose on it. So you know Logan Paul, right? The influencer. So he hyped up this shitcoin called Crypto Zoo. And it like had all these eggs that hatched. It was kind of like Pokemon, but I think it was just a kind of pump and dump rug pull thing. Somebody joined the chat. I just heard something. Oh, hi. Who's there? Who's sorry? Ah, Shashank, my man. How are you doing? Doing good. You in your Beamer? where are we off to? Is your bosses? Yeah. Are you are you in the Google Meet? Okay. Yeah, I tried. I can't do a screen share on it because I'm recording it. So you have to go into the Google Meet link if you want to see my screen. So yeah, click on Google Meet, and I'll let you in. It should be obvious. Oh, there's Willis. Hello, Willis. Sorry if you're waiting for a long time. The Google link Meet I posted everywhere, so yeah, you should be able to find it. It's everywhere. I posted it everywhere. C-suite trading chat. Two seven two. So we have, you know, what we have to do actually is because we're this is the futures market, and I'm transposing onto the spot market. We need to work out what the difference is. So we closed at 28.59, 54. So there's about 5 pips. Okay, 4 pips difference. I have to let you in. Okay, no problem. Okay, you may want to mute the Google Meet and listen through Discord, if that makes sense, because both inputs are on the go. The only reason I'm doing it this backwards way is because OBS and Discord screen share, there's a conflict. They don't like it and it just shuts down. Okay? I'll be back in 2 seconds. So Shashank, what's up? Like, what have you been up to, man? Working. Taking your girlfriends out and whining and dining. Truck drivers. That sounds a bit weird. So we just to bring you up to speed. We've analyzed Dixie. And we've just moved on to cable, and we're just looking at price action. I am analyzing the spot market and the futures market together, so I need to apply correction, which is a bit annoying. Now, yeah, I could just use the 6B chart, but I like using the spot chart because that's a larger market, but I'm going to have to apply a correction to each of these and take 4 pips off, if that makes any sense. So this will actually be 27.70. So no, 27.24 is the weekly. That'll be the WPOC here. So what's that? 27.20. So that was the highest volume of the week, so that's definitely worth watching. I feel like I want to embolden that a bit and like make it. Because I do end up with a lot of lines in my charts, as you've probably noticed. They're all labeled. Which line? This one? Oh, these are hidden gaps. So yeah, these should be noted as well. Go. So yeah, we should take note of all these. Where the fuck did I put that? Where did it go? Okay. I've forgotten what this zone is. Is that like a daily hidden gap or something? Yeah, daily hidden gap. Okay. So early. Gosh, it's a very bullish market, isn't it? So yeah, I've got this thing for my neck coming from Amazon any minute now. Sorry, one of my earbuds fell out. Give me a second. Yeah. I don't like it as much anymore. One reason is the commissions on futures suck. And it just doesn't move as well on the futures market. I used to trade the pounds. It's great for trading on CFDs. It's low spreads. It's very volatile. Low comms. But the commissions on futures are absolutely horrendous for Forex. But it still makes big moves, so it's worth keeping an eye on. Let me just check if anyone's... Oh, how much is it? I don't know, I can't remember. It's a lot. You can check on Apex. It always works out. Like if I make 1,500 on a cable trade, like the commissions are like $300 or $400 or something. It's ridiculous. All right, what else? I think I'm kind of like starting to lose focus. Anyway, so weekly TPO VAS, so that'll be 2854. And what was the VAL? So 2685 roughly. Wow. That's quite a value area. I would say that's bigger than the average weekly range for normal than cable. Ding, 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 ding. So notice where we bottomed. $26.47 to 26. So by the way, this is all being recorded. I know it's pretty boring. But if you have a good plan, then you can go into Monday, Tuesday with, relaxed, not panicking, not wondering where you're going to trade. You've got a plan. You go in totally relaxed, and then you know if there's a trade or not. You can just set alerts. And if you do all this planning on Sunday and keep it updated throughout the week, then your trading day is very relaxed. You don't actually have to spend much time on the trading screen. So this is why I like to do all the planning on a Sunday and, clean up the charts a bit. Hope that makes sense. Mm-hmm. Cluttered. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really know what you're trying to say. Like, do you mean I'll have a level planned and then it'll end up getting front run, and I'll miss it? Mm-hmm. Well, we have Bookmap, and we can adapt. Trading's all about being dynamic. Yes, we have to have a plan in place so that we have a broad idea, and then it's about on the day we say, okay, is our plan coming into fruition, or is it not? And if not, what's happening? Can we make a new plan? And if it is going to our plan, can we execute a trade based on that, following our system? Okay? So part of that is knowing the trends. We've now said weekly consolidation, daily uptrend, H4 uptrend, H1 uptrend. We need now good reasons to sell down to December's poor low, because everything is trending up. And we have this internal structure and a hidden gap up here. So could we be headed here? We're closer to here. But, we've also taken December's high with gusto, as we predicted, I think. But yeah, we'll see. So what else? I suppose we should note this kind of high volume note here. It's on the round number, so it's not, no surprises there. 28. Why is it not appearing? Okay, what else? I suppose we should look at prior weeks. So did we meet that TPO, this one? 28,882. Yeah, we did. Did we? Yeah. So that's where we topped. So yeah, there's a logic to all this stuff, you know. We came up to this TPO POC. Okay, good. 2960 is the next. So we've got quite a confluence there as well. So 2960 up to 2970. We'll just note that. You know, we could come up to test here. Worth noting. I think a lot of the market will want to short this. So what else we have? TPO VAT. That's roughly 130. I've got a gut feeling that cable might test 130. It just seems so close that it's tantalizing, you know? What was that? A Pewee bar? Was it? Yeah. Okay, now. God, we've got several other assets to do this for, so it's gonna be a long one. So feel free to drop in and out, guys. Like, this is something I'm gonna do regardless. It's gonna all be recorded, so you can always come back to it. Okay, so this is Friday's value area. Unfinished auction on Fridays though. Unfinished auction on Thursdays though. Okay, we'll have to note that. So there's like a cornucopia of unfinished auctions here. So yeah, we might come back into the valley area. Okay, what else? Let's take a snapshot of that. Big single print area here. First, I'll just note the value area for Friday. So that would be 28.51 to the low to 28. I'm gonna work on, better presentation of charts, cause now that I've got like more students and stuff, I'm aware this is possibly quite confusing, especially if you're new. How this all looks, it makes perfect sense to me, but to somebody just coming in, I fear it might look like hell. You know what I mean? Freitag. What else? Okay, POC. That'd be 28.04. So remember, I'm doing all this so you don't have to. But I'm sharing it so that in future you can do it yourself. Say if I get hit by a bus tomorrow, that you know how to trade my way. You know what I mean? Yeah. Eventually, I mean, the thing about markets is you're going to take parts of this and apply it to your own trading. and you're gonna draw on your own experience as well and your own personality, and you're gonna figure out a method. You know, in 6 months from now, your trading is gonna look quite different from mine. You know, we're gonna use the same kind of concepts, but we're gonna be looking at things in a different angle. That's just naturally gonna happen over time. It always happens with traders. And usually what you find is, even though we're doing that, we all kind of align and figure out, oh, we've found the same kind of trade. Like I noticed with Lawrence, he's got his own little things that I didn't teach him, that he points out, and it's quite interesting to see. Yeah. Yeah, of course. Yeah, of course. Why am I not using a template for this? I need to delete the FPG references. Where's my H1 hidden camera? Okay, single print. Where's that? 28. So that'll actually be 5 pips lower on the spot market. So like that'll be this single print. And then it's this single print area that's here. So 2780-ish down to 2770. Yeah. This is like, just for that kind of blue. Same thing as a hidden gap single print, basically. It's just a different way of expressing it. I'm kind of unique in that I'm kind of multidisciplinarian trader. If I take you to my website, what's my website again? The Futures Now. What is my website again? The Futures. No, I don't want updates. Fuck off. Yeah, I'm quite a multidisciplinarian, right? So I'm looking at a lot of people maybe just trade market profile and AMT. If you look at somebody like Smash Alito on X, he's a pure kind of AMT trader. I incorporate price action analysis, order book, market by order, fundamental correlations, and then I have my whole kind of setup thing. So I'm a kind of multidisciplinarian trader, I would say. I don't just trade like AMT or whatever. And I think that in my mind this is the best way to be. can feel that I'm kind of flagging and I maybe need a break after this one. Let's just finish GU and then move on to like ES after that. If we can get ES and then Q done at least. And maybe CL. Then that's fine. We can always do UB and natural gas tomorrow. Because there's only so much you can take of this shit, right? You know? I'm already feeling like, I can't be arsed. 60. I think it's because of my neck pain more than anything. It's just like the hunching. You know? I think because my screen level is below. So I'm always looking down. So I need to like work on the ergonomics. And also I just need to generally work out more. So anyway, we'll start to build up a picture of GU. I would expect it to move into the value area and fill some of these single prints closer to 128 first thing on Monday. That would be my expectation. I don't think we're gonna go fly above weekly high. What's next? Volumes. Okay, Friday VPOC 2850. So you notice I'm applying a correction to the spot chart compared to the futures chart. This is just for this particular asset. So about a 5 pip difference. And yeah, you could just say just use the 6B chart. I don't know. I just like using the spot chart. It's just my preference. I don't know why. I think it's just because it's the larger market. I like to keep an eye on it. Now we have this high volume node here. Very interesting. You don't only look at the POCs, right? You also want to see where the volume is. So we've got two high volume nodes here. 2871. So these are, potential trading levels, HVN. Let's say you had an Asia range. Move up to the HVN, you could potentially short. You know what I mean? Hopefully that makes sense. Or indeed, if you wanted to go pro trend, we had an Asia range and we contacted this HVN, then use that as a trading level. You can already see this is quite a congestion area. There's a lot going on, What else? I guess we should note Friday's VA area. That'd be 2871. So 2870. I know this is super tedious, guys, but it really helps me to do this. So I have 2839. 20. Yeah. 23. Alfonso, you had a question about trading levels earlier. Maybe I missed it. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So one of my earbuds have just died, and that's what I'm talking to you all from through Discord. So I think this is a good time for a break. I'll stop the recording and split it in two. I'm also feeling just generally like I need a break from this tedious work. So I think I'll answer your question when we get back. I'll maybe like reconvene in like 20 minutes or something. But I think we've broadly done 6B, for now. It's starting to turn into a bit of a mess. Yeah, for now, I think I'll just charge up my earbuds, stop the recording, and we'll reconvene soon. Like 20 minutes or something. Alright, cheers, bud.